on, everybody? That one dude is in the house, and we are here with the first episode of Hot Stories and Cold Ones. And my guest today, you may see him as a familiar face as a co-host with us on our other podcast, Illegal Formation. Link in the description. Check it out. All the sports stuff at the NFL, MLB, whatever y'all watch, we do it. Y'all let us know. If there's more stuff y'all want us to watch or want us to report on, you let us know and we talk about it. That's what we do. But guys, this is a different kind of thing that we're doing here, okay? Your dude just has this kind of creativity kind of thing where it's just like, I like to pick the brains of people. And the first one I wanted to do is one of my closest dudes and my co-host, Joey. Joey, how we doing today, my brother?
Ready to be mentally challenged here. See what happens.
Just to like ask questions going on and everything. Guys, listen, backstory, right? Me and Joey know each other. We know each other for like a long time, right? We've gone through years and years of absolute wildish together, okay? And so my guy here, right? Of course, Joey, like explain stuff. Like, explain about yourself, man, to the crowd beforehand. You know what I mean? Like, tell us about yourself. Tell us about what what you do if you can. You know what I mean?
Like what? What's going on?
Just like
now?
explain who you are to the crowd. Like, you know what I mean? Like people see like they see Joey right here, right? Like explain a little bit more. This isn't illegal formation. We don't just talk about sports. This is where we have there's more character to us. I'm more than just that one dude. I got more stuff going on. You're more than just Joey. You know what I'm saying? What you got going on?
Right now, what's going on? Really, all there is to me is that I'm just a avid sports fan.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter really the sport. So it's kind of that's my day-to-day activity. And then right now, pretty much working construction for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not using that degree that I got while I was in school with you, Danny.
No, yeah.
I have taken a different path from that recently, within the last 6 weeks now. Left the other job, and now I'm trying some new shit out.
I feel that.
That's what's going on.
I feel that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask, right? So one of my first questions that I really had, right, is you and I played sports going into college and everything, and we understood how mentally, physically taxing it was. And I guess I'm asking this kind of question for those who are like out there that are really like wanting to pursue athletics in college and everything like that. I guess for me, like, I wanted to ask you, do you think the amount of mental stress and physical punishment, I would say, that we've put like on our bodies, do you feel like something like that has been like worth it? Of course, we had great memories. Listen, I loved the team that we were on. I loved the guys that we played with. I loved everything that was going on, you know what I mean? But, could there have been things that you feel like, looking back on it, you would have changed? You think you would have done differently, that you may have thought about differently going into it, first season, second season, or anything like that? Like,
I think in the heat of everything, it's easy to say like shit's not worth doing. Like you could find a way out of doing stuff, but when you look back at it and how quickly that time period goes, it's like man, I really probably should have just stuck this out for what it was, because it really was a great environment when you really think back about everything, like the schedule and everything. I know it was tough and all that, and it's like a grind, but like I feel like it's like, I don't know, it was a great experience when I look back at it. I just wish I handled my time differently there, as you probably know.
yeah. And I would say too, like with the degree that I was going for, like it was hard. You know what I'm saying? It was extremely difficult, especially for the class that, as you remember, like more than 70% of people failed because of a specific individual. And that individual then got like released and then fired, and then he came back, and it was a whole bunch of mess and everything like that. But the reason why I asked that is because like I know there's been like players who get hurt, get all these, how do I say, long-term injuries, risking themselves, right? For, as we played like in our division, you know what I mean? Like I guess you could say like while everybody has a chance, the risk that we were putting ourselves into, while it's a great environment, could possibly hurt us long term. That in reality, it was like we had a great moment, but we may not be able to live long, kind of thing. I guess like to me, like, what are your like give and takes with that? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of why I asked the question.
I think it shows you a love for the game is what it really is, right?
Yeah.
We wanted to be there, so that's what we signed up for
Hmm.
and put ourselves through. And there's always cons with stuff, obviously, and the injuries. It's part of the game, as you and I both know. So I
Hmm.
mean, I went into Kings with a huge injury, and then within a year, less than a year, I was trying to play again.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
was I look at that
Yeah.
when I look at that specific situation, I feel like I probably should have like redshirted the first year and not even played. I feel like it would have been in a better spot
For sure.
overall, but instead I was battling. I tore my ACL just to make shit clear what we're
Yeah.
talking about, so it's not so vague. So like I had surgery November 1st. We were there in August. So what is that? A 10-month
A 10
turnaround.
minute turnaround.
I was trying to I was trying to play O line with a bum knee, but yeah, I mean the I think I just got off on the wrong foot overall with that, and then I had a terrible attitude, as you know, and yeah, I wish I handled all that differently. Obviously, looking back at
For
it,
sure. For sure. And that's what, like, it was
especially when
funny.
you think about it.
No, you're good. Keep going. Keep
When you
going.
think about it, Danny, it's like when you think about it, it's like it really is like a flick of the fingers or whatever, like a snap.
It is,
How
isn't it?
quickly it all. We met in 2019, and it's 2026 now. So that's 7 years. It was 7 years ago. We've been out of college now for like 2+ years at this point.
I still remember cutting your hair in
You
the
know.
bathroom before we went to the party.
Yeah, you guys were so sexy there. Yeah, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. A thing to me that sticks out though is you think of like Coach Nar and all that, and it's like you show up. I was like, I remember like the thing in Holy Cross, our building. It's like, oh, as an 18-year-old boy or whatever, you leave as a 22-year-old man. I look back, I think about that often. How
That
accurate
is
that is.
yeah, for real.
How quickly you grow up there, and then how you don't even realize it. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
next thing you know, it's like just preparing for the real world, I guess you could say. And then look out, just for you, an example, how could you see yourself doing what you're doing now when you at 18 when you first got there?
I'm not even gonna lie,
Just like the
no.
job
Like,
that you took and how you're traveling like the world now.
yeah. No, like honestly, like I think about that like recently, like recently I like kind of had like a little bit of a reflection on like the life and all the decisions that I made and everything like that. And I know like especially my first year at King, since we already stated where we went, uh, that I remember my first year like when I got told beforehand about like going into my degree, and then they were like, oh, you have to prove it. Your GPA, your high school, which at the time was like a 3.8 something. You know what I mean? But they were like, we're not. This is not good enough. We need to figure it out. Like at that point, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, this was even before COVID, so I was ready to drop. I was ready to dip before the pandemic even started and everything like that. So, but to like fight through it and get to where I'm at now and everything, like it definitely. You never really think about it until like you hit this spot and you're just like, oh shit. Like when in reality, like it goes so fast, you really don't feel like you did a lot. You feel like you've just been living life and things just
Yeah.
happen the way they do sometimes and everything. And that's where I guess you could say like which is going to kind of lead to my next question in the sense of like the pandemic. I feel like a lot of and like pardon my language, but a lot of old heads, a lot of like people 35 and older have this notion that like kids that have gone through the COVID years and the COVID schooling and everything like that, how absolutely like horrendous it is, and how what's it called? How like just bad. How do I say bad? They're just basically bad apples. That's basically the easiest way I could say it. And I guess for me, like we went through that. You know what I mean? We went through that kind of schooling, and I guess for me, like, do you give any grace to the people that were actually willing to just fight through that year, 2 year mark of like masks, online classes, only through the computer? You remember that? No way, you weren't. Were you at Kings at the time?
I left first semester
Yes, you
during
did.
COVID.
Yeah.
I left in the spring of 2020, so it would have been our sophomore year. I was gone that spring.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's easy to say like um, COVID can make you leave and all that stuff, and then drop out, that kind of thing. But I think at the end of the day, it really has no impact on any of that, on anything like that. It's just no matter, people are going to leave if they were always going to leave, and they're going to stay if they were meant to be there. That's kind of how I feel about it now.
And that's what
You know what I
my
mean?
and I agree, and that's what my kind of point is that people say like, oh, COVID affected
An
kids' like
excuse.
learning curve and all this stuff in between. It's like I just feel like if you weren't about it, you weren't about it, and just COVID.
If you're,
You know what I'm
if you're like a
saying?
young kid, baby, where we were at, like you can't use that as an excuse, right? That's kind of like, I don't know, soft. Is
Yeah,
that
like
the
to me,
best
it's
way
like
I
the
could
whole
put it?
concept of like, oh, like this crew coming in, going into work that went through the COVID thing. They're not about it. They went through this half-ass schooling. They weren't prepared. Yada yada yada. But it's like I feel like if you weren't about it like beforehand, like you weren't gonna be about it beforehand. COVID is just your kind of handicap to be like, oh, I was just COVID schooling. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
It's a crutch people
Yes,
use. Yeah.
I fully agree. Alrighty.
I used I used it as a crutch, and I was out for a few months. I'm like, what am I doing? I should probably go back.
Mm-hmm.
Should I have been back? Who knows? Because I'm not even using that degree. It was kind of a waste of time at this point.
Mm.
This current moment in life. I
That
guess it's
is.
something you always have though,
Uh huh.
but who knows? I don't know.
True. True.
That's
True.
where
True.
we're at, Danny. That's what we're trying to figure out here. We're on the hunt.
We are on the hunt. We are on the hunt for sure, for sure. And I guess that's where kind of leads my next question about college beforehand and about how Joey, to your point beforehand that you said you were like, oh, like you went to school and you're currently not like using the degree and everything like that. I guess, and this is kind of where like I want to take a little bit of a curve and just to see because I bet you the audience is gonna be like, no, this is crazy. But here at Hot Stories and Cold Ones, we talking facts and it's gonna get hot. My question to you is it's do you feel like schools need to kind of how do I say remove degrees that in reality the in the world the job market is so minuscule, certain small schools with that kind of degree, it's kind of like what is the reason?
What do you mean?
What I mean by that, for example, like there's performing arts schools, right? Performing art colleges that they teach the theater, they teach the music, they teach all that stuff, but they're connected to programs, big programs that allow people in those arts to be able to flourish and go somewhere. You know what I mean? And I'm saying in that kind of conversation, I guess in schools that may not have those kind of connections, is it beneficial for them to have those kind of degrees? In a job market that's so hard, minuscule. You know what I mean? Like I guess that's the question that I kind of ask because in reality, like if this job's hard to find and you going to a school, you're paying hundreds of thousands because small private schools they need a lot more money, a lot more of an institution. They're not really going to give a lot more funding, a lot more forgiveness. They're not going to be giving all that kind of stuff, but they're going to be allowing you to kind of go for schooling that when you're done, you may be the top 3%, like in a 3% chance to be able to find a job in that field that you've studied for.
I think that's more of an issue with, as you were talking about the job market. I feel like that's a bigger issue there than it is for the schools. But I think the schools can make shit easier by like, I don't know, like suppressing certain things. Like I feel like a lot of shit's similar to each other. You know what I mean? Just a different name behind it, where it should just be one thing. You know what I mean? Like how
Hmm.
there's like political science, and then there's like law, and then there's criminal justice. And why is that all three separate things? You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like as an example, why is that not just one thing if you're learning all the same shit anyway? You know what I mean?
I see. I see where you're coming from. That's actually a good point. That's a good point. And I guess that
Yeah, like
kind of
why is it there's three different terms that mean three different things when in reality you're for the most part learning the same thing. You know what I mean?
mm,
Like why isn't it just one like curriculum for that applies, you know?
hmm.
That's kind of where I'm at with that.
I see what you're saying. And I guess to my question for you is the job market, right? That you mentioned beforehand.
How,
Um,
I wanted to ask you this though before we continue. Like how different is like because it's engineering, like there's multiple different forms of it. Why is there so many like how different are they, you know?
oh, like I would say
Are they
significantly because for me, right? Like
significant?
Yeah, for me, like mechanical, like I'm gonna be you're working with gear ratios, different types of thermodynamics, different types of situations compared to civil engineering in terms of buildings and structures, the ground, like dirt compensation, all the stuff in between, like, um, and then petroleum. That's all like oil, gas, like all those kinds of necessary
Well,
things.
shouldn't you learn all of that though? You know, or is that just pointless? Am I off track here?
No, no, no. I think that you need people to have specialties in those things because I can't lie to you. Like if I was like,
So so for where I'm at, or like in general with like the I guess the law field, whatever. There's three like it's you need to have a specialty. That's the whole idea behind it, right?
mm-hmm.
That's why they exist.
So then I guess back to the question. So in terms of the job market that you mentioned beforehand, and how hard it is, and for us, right, that like coming out of college, it did take me a minute to get a job, around like a couple months or whatever. And I know there's been other people that have taken like way longer to be able to find an opportunity to go and do something. I guess from your experience and your thoughts, like the job market coming out of college, like first of all, like one, what was your experience with that? That's my first question.
Well, so I graduated in December, and then I didn't find the job that I had. It took me 6 months, which is what I tell you within 6 months, like whatever. What is that stat from Kings or from college? I gotta probably stop saying the
You're
name.
good.
Wasn't there a stat like 90% of
It's
people
like
had a
ninety eight
job or
percent. Yeah,
whatever? But
finding a job within 6 months.
yeah, so that was accurate there, and I could have kept the job. I chose not to. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I left I chose to leave that field just because I wanted to live a better lifestyle, at home.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would doing the traveling thing, and I'd be state to state, and I just couldn't. There was no balance to my life in that sense. I was driving, so I don't know. I guess it's different than flying around places where it's kind of quicker and faster, and
Mm-hmm.
shit like that. But yeah, I just couldn't. And then it was like the structure of it all was kind of whack. But yeah, I mean, I guess I got burnt out of that, and I chose to try something else, and that's where I'm at now. I like to try different shit. That's kind of what I've kind of learned here. I don't
Mm-hmm.
really stick to the same thing.
I
I
agree.
don't stick to the same multiple years. That's kind of like my resume would show that.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm not like it's not like I'm failing to do this job or getting fired or something. I'm just choosing to leave and try something else.
No,
And I guess
it's
it's
the
new. I
concept of
take
like keeping your interest is the basically the best way.
Yeah,
It's like something
yeah.
that
I
like
guess
tickles
that's a
your
way to
brain,
say
something
it.
that kind of like really gets you like going and everything. That's why I love the job that I currently have, just because like I agree with you, and that's kind of why I want to start this podcast because there's things that we may think about and ponder on, but like we don't really have a platform or anything to really do or talk about it besides just one another like after the illegal formation podcast. But and that's kind of where it's like interesting because which again leads me to my next question. What is your thoughts about, for example, what we're doing right now? I feel like there's a lot of podcasts out there that's comical based, and listen, we're here, we're gonna joke, we're gonna laugh, it's gonna be a great time. But the concept of we can have a conversation and the concept of agreeing to disagree, it's really hard, I feel like, to do
That
that in this kind of this generation, this kind of generation. It is this generation. I mean, in this time of age, to
people like to give in to the same thing.
you know what I
Is what you're
mean,
saying.
and you know what I mean. I don't like to use the concept
Well,
of sheep
it's like
mentality, but bah, like you know
yeah.
what I'm saying. It's like that.
So what you're alluding to is our generation doesn't like conflict
I don't think
or can't
it's
handle
I
conflict.
don't think it's the concept of conflict. I think it's the concept of taking a second
Because if
to
you're not challenging,
to me it's like to challenge their stance. That's the best way I could say it.
but you're saying people aren't challenging stances. Why
Yes,
is
I think
that?
that's the issue. I think genuinely that's what
And why?
I've always wondered is that it's always hard for someone to be able to communicate. And I'm not even talking about like politics or anything like that. I'm talking about like day-to-day life, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like, yo,
Well,
I like blue Doritos and you unfriended me because you like red Doritos. That's what I'm talking about. Like,
I guess it's like the world of the internet. We're like the lab rats of that, in a sense. We grew up in it. We didn't. I guess we were. I guess it's kind of different for us because we're 24. But like I feel like when we grew up, it was like the first like 10 years, whatever. Like the internet wasn't really a thing. That like then it happened, and then it just sucks people's life away. It's kind of where we're at. You get what I'm saying, or no?
I mean, I get what you're saying by like sucking people's life away because
It's easier.
they get so enveloped
People,
by the information that they're getting
yeah,
fed that they're just like, oh, this thing would
people
never
hide on
lie
the
to
internet.
me.
People like to hide on the internet. It's kind of like it's easy. It's an easy thing to do. You can make a burner account and talk about whatever you want and have no face to the shit you're saying. And that's just a build up in a person that you don't see because they don't act that way in real life.
I get that, and I guess to me, why is it that you feel there is so much backlash for owning up to what you say or owning up to what you feel? And it almost seems as if like if you do put a face, right? For example, like I'm owning this podcast, and if I say something that 30,000 people might disagree with, 50,000 might join them because they're like, oh my god, they got this group that don't agree with him. So we're gonna jump on the bandwagon and we're gonna ride it to the end zone. You know what I'm saying? Like I guess to me, like
I
what?
know. I know you're not talking about politics, right?
No. That's not at all what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is
Yeah.
just
It's what
overall just
it sounds like a certain party. A certain party's like that is what it sounds like to me.
no. We're not even going that route. We're not even going that route. That's what I'm getting at. We're not even going that route. What I'm going about is the concept of, for example, we'll even go with sports. For example, we'll even go with sports. The Chiefs were the team for the longest time. Everybody loved them, no problem. And all of a sudden, everybody, Taylor Swift comes up. She starts getting with Travis Kelce, right? And all of a sudden now, you remember the conversation of nobody knew who Travis Kelce was before he started dating Taylor Swift. That was a thing
Yeah.
for a while, right? And it's like us who have loved football for so long know the caliber of player he's been in his career. But as a football fan, you would receive backlash from the majority because it's facts. Yes, I understand she has more fans than that Travis Kelce has had, but at the same time, Travis Kelce's in a niche where you're only limited to guys and girls that have grown up in that kind of environment. But you receive backlash for going and saying, no, he was like that beforehand. He was him beforehand. He was famous beforehand. And all that kind of stuff in
I
between.
guess. I guess people don't look into context before. I guess people are just willing to jump into shit without really knowing situations where you're getting at.
Well, yeah,
Or
that's what I'm
make
getting at. But
opinions about.
I'm saying to you, I'm asking you the question, like in the sense of like, in depthly, why is it that it almost seems like we're in that kind of situation? Because that's not a social media thing. This is a straight opinion based off of what premise? You know what I mean? It's because this party, like these fans of Taylor Swift who've never watched football probably a day in their life, will come into the NFL fan base, state these claims, but these people that have been here for so long know what he's done, have all this information. Facts are invalidated and hated. You know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, what is the reason for that to be, I guess, okay?
I don't know. I don't know how to make it. The only thing I can think of is like, it's easy. I don't know. It's just like, I don't know. I was gonna say anyone can have an opinion now, and it's all allowed because of the internet. So shit flies. Don't know if that makes any sense, but
No, I mean, I get what you're saying, you know what I mean? And I could already hear Scotty right now and be like, do you feel like every opinion should be kind of heard or whatever the case is, but it's just like, of course, you know, this is America, freedom of speech, all that ish in between. That's what we do here.
Allegedly.
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 Allegedly. Um, that's funny. That's funny. Okay. we got a couple more questions here. All right, Joey. So my next question, kind of coming into this, right, is the concept of dating life in our age, right? And I already know your situation, Joey. Happy as shit for you, brother. Love you and everything like that. I guess, what would you say to guys in our generation to get into a position where you're at right now?
Take more shots.
Yeah. Be in the gym. Be in the gym. Yeah.
What's Michael Scott's famous quote?
I don't.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't.
Oh, you miss 100. Yeah.
I think some people live in fear of failure, and that's part of an issue when it comes to that kind of stuff.
But Joey, like let's be honest, right? When we were in college, like it's very not even in college. This is still nowadays. It's like nowadays, it's a very weird thing to go up to somebody personally and be like, "Hey, what's up? You a whole weirdo."
Yeah.
You can't do that.
People respond differently to that now.
Like, Joey, it's like, to me, right? And like for everybody who's watching, right? If you are 29 years and older, right? This is exactly how it works. You gotta go either download one of these dating apps, right? Possibly find somebody or find their Instagram, follow them, wait a couple days, don't do nothing extra, right? Just leave it be. Say snap ? Or you're like, hi, call it a day. Then you wait a couple days, okay? Wait for them to respond. You can't double text. You double text, you a simp, you bitch. Like, you can't do that. Then they respond. You got to keep it basic text. Kind of chilling, no issue, no problem, whatever. Then wait a couple hours. You can't respond fast, because if you respond fast, you're too clingy. This is where we're at right now. Then you got to go, and all of a sudden, be like, yo, what you doing this weekend? Bow. Let it simmer. Just wait. She responds. Give it about 10 minutes. Let it simmer there. Let her sweat a little bit, I guess, to be like, maybe. Then you open. She gonna say yes or no. She say no. Next shot, mother heifer. She say yes. Okay. Casual. You hang out, chilling. Boom, boom, boom. Don't ask to the crib. Don't ask to the crib yet. Wait a little bit. She go back. Then all of a sudden you're like, yo, you should come to the crib. There's no hanging out at that point. You go to the crib, and then hopefully you made it. Hopefully you made it. Joey, am I about off? Or am I about right?
Sounds about right. But it's different. It's different for everybody, though. You know, not all. It depends on what you're going after, what you're looking.
And that's what I'm getting at. I'm saying for those guys who are looking for like the long term kind of thing, not the whole, I'm trying to go do my thing and you're going by tomorrow morning. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about long term. We're trying to make this shit last. Am I all right?
Yeah. In a sense, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's multiple dates missed before bringing somebody home, though. You know, unless you're like, I guess, in the environment of college. I think the thing you're getting to is like being outside of like a college environment, how hard it is, in a sense.
Yes.
Because it's easy. I guess not easy in college, but it's like you guys both have like a mutual room or whatever. But you know what I'm saying, like shit like that.
Yeah, it is definitely a lot easier in college, 100%.
But when you're outside of school and it's like the real world, I guess it's not.
It is not.
Yeah, bringing people back to your parents' house or something like that. Like that doesn't really, especially when you get to our age.
Especially at this age, yo, it's hard as shit to get a crib.
Bad look.
It's a bad look. You go, yo, you have to come through the back window and then pull up, throw 2 pebbles at the window. Let me know that's the sign. I'm gonna open it, throw my blanket down, grab it. I'm gonna pull you. You can only stay till 11:30 because at that point I know my mom goes and takes the curling johns out of her hair and she's gonna walk by my room and I don't want to hear her like you know what I mean like if she knows when I be breathing. Sometimes she comes in, she puts her finger on my nose to make sure I'm breathing and you can't be here. It's like yo no, but for real though, like. And hey, and listen, guys, there ain't no shame if you still living with your parents. You know what I mean? This economy is shot. Like, it's hard as shit to get a crib. You know what I mean? Like, luckily, like, I'm blessed to have one. I know, Joe, you blessed to have one and everything. Like, you know, I count my blessings and I thank the Lord every day. But, no, for real, bro, it's rough. I feel like it's even rough when you do have your own crib because you still having to sit there and be, like, polite, gentlemanlike and everything. And that's not a hard thing to be, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of crazy.
Then it's also... It would also be your responsibility to have the place like spotless, you know, ready to go. Like it can't be a mess type deal. Not that you should be a mess anyway, but you know what I'm saying. Like you're responsible for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I guess that's the part.
I will say living on my own.
Speak on that, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Well, living on my own, bro. Like, yo, it's a lot to manage this crib, bro. Like, every weekend is basically devoted to cleaning the crib, mopping the floors, sweeping the floors, vacuuming. What's it called?
What happens if you don't do it? It doesn't get done.
Yeah, if I don't do it, it's just gonna sit there. And I go outside, I'm like, smell like ass. Like that's what it basically like, or it look dusty. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just, it ain't right. It ain't right. You know what I mean? The skid marks ain't gonna come off the toilet themselves, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
somebody's gotta take the trash out.
Someone gotta take the trash out. Who's gonna do that shit, bro? Like, it be like that, bro. It really do. But hey, you know,
I'm just gonna watch all these dishes sitting here right now.
Yo,
I got no fucking plates in my cabinet.
I will say this right now, yo. I was never, ever a dishwasher guy, bro. I never was. I thought that was whack. I thought that is crazy. I was hand washing every single day. And then the shawty was like,
you don't like the dishwasher.
Yo, and now the shawty, I didn't for the longest time, bro. I lived here for almost a year now. And for about like 7 months, I never used it.
Yeah, I'd be the same way. I don't like using the dishwasher. I'd rather just wash it by hand because it gets done way faster than putting it. Like, you got to load up a bunch of dirty dishes, wait for them to get clean. Then you're going to take them out, and then when you take them out, they have like those streaks going on like on them sometimes. You know
you know what I'm saying? Or it's like if you go to bed and then you wake up the next day, but you didn't like clean the dishwasher, it got a weird like smell to it and shit like that. Like, nah, bro, like it messes me up. It does.
I don't like it.
I'm not a fan. I can't stand it.
But then you're also getting a bigger bill too. Because you run the dishwasher.
Exactly.
However long that goes.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's like hot water. So then you wasting 2 bills. That's water and electricity right there. Like, this is what I'm saying. This is a double entendre. I think it's kind of useless.
It's a useless invention. Why does every new place need one of those?
And that's why
you know, hands.
You know what I'm saying? You have hands. Wash it. If you don't like the concept of food on your hands, put gloves on, wash it, put it down, let them dry. There ain't nothing. And to me, you know what that'd be? That'd be good more cabinet space, bro. But instead, I got something that is gonna be like 50-50 smelling like mold after a couple washes.
It'll break in 6 months. Gotta get someone in.
Then you gotta get someone to come in, and then they gotta fix it, and then guess what? I'm back to washing with my hands.
Yeah, it all leads you back to square one.
Yes, you know. No, for real though, like for real. But now the girlfriend's got me using it, and I'm just like, it just. And I use it when I know I'm like, okay, yo, I gotta get going. I'm gonna go to the gym. Boom, boom, boom. I wash everything, put it down, and I go straight to the gym. It's washing it. It's done by the time I come back. Put everything away. Call it a day. But like, also too, yo, them plates be hot as shit. Like when they first come out and I open it, huh?
So you get into it right away. You beep. You're like, oh fuck, let me go.
I'm right away to it. I'm like, all right, I bet. And then I realized it's hot as hell because the steam smacked me in the face, and it was like steamy mold the one day. Because I used it 3 times, I forgot to wash it, put the wash pads in there, cleaned it afterwards. But I'm like, bro, like then I'm in my mind, I'm just like, bro, now do my plates got this funk on it, bro? Like then it makes me mad.
Yeah.
Then it makes me not want to put my plates away, stack them on top, wash it, and then rewash my dishes again. And guess what? More water, more electricity used for what? When I could have done one hand wash.
Yeah. Challenging times, Danny. I guess these are like first world problems in a sense.
These really are, aren't they? Like for real.
Yeah. Like, fuck this fucking dishwasher, man. Like,
Yeah.
why is this doing this?
Oh, that sounds so bad. But yeah, no, like that ass though. That ass. Oh man. But so I know everybody has like goals so far, like going into their young adult, into, you know, getting to their 30s, getting to their 40s and everything like that. Like Joey, like I guess I feel like a lot of kids like our age still sit in this bubble of like, I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what's going on. And I guess like this is, in my opinion, one of like the hardest parts of like life. Is like figuring out which direction you go. Of course, you gotta have a job. You gotta shower. You gotta wash your ass. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta eat. Do all that stuff in between. But it's like, it's really rare. I feel like we see people our age that have that 5 year plan, long term goals, and things like that. And I guess like, what do you feel like has diminished that kind of behavior?
The internet.
Oh my
That's my
god,
answer.
that's gonna be your
That's what
answer
I
for
would say,
everything. Because in reality, right? Like, I'll be honest with you. Like, I feel like, mind you, of course, I'm here. You know, I'm doing the YouTube thing, everything in between. But I think that like, it's like, and yo, listen to it. I wish everybody success. I hope everybody gets 1 million subscribers, 1 million TikTok followers, all that ish in between. But it's like this is almost like the route everybody wants to take. And there's definitely a lot of fields that need people. But like nobody wants to work those jobs. They want to be in the camera. They want to just go out, do something, and think that tomorrow is gonna just wow, wham, they're just gonna make it. You know what I mean? And it's like, you know what I mean? Like I understand. Like to me, like this investment of my time doing this kind of thing is because like I enjoy stuff like this, talking, explaining, really deep dive thinking. But I also love the job that I have. So it's like I feel like people have this thing where they're not willing to take the time to find the things that they love. They're just like, oh, that's so cool that that person did that. I want to go do that, to your point with the internet. And I guess, like, what is some of your advice for kids, or not even kids, young adults our age, older, younger, coming out of college, that you feel as if, like, they should get back on that horse. They should be able to do that. Like, what's your advice to that, like, to them?
I think it's a bad question for me.
I mean, I don't think,
answer
Joey,
for
and
it.
this is what I say, right? Let me explain this to you, right? It's like not a lot of people decide to come back to school after they go, right? You did. Not a lot of people, right, have confidence in themselves after they've spent the time to go acquire an academic, like, bachelor's degree. You did. Like, you found your job, you got your own crib, you're doing what you gotta do, right? And this isn't me trying to just glaze you and hop on your head, but I'm being legit with you in the sense of like, you've made things happen, whether it was just you, whether it was you and your lady, whether whoever. You're here. You're here now. You're doing what you gotta do. And there's people that, yo, may look at you and be like, damn, I wish I was there. You know what I mean? And that's why I asked, like, you may think to yourself, like, I'm the wrong person to ask this question. In reality, it's like, there's people that may wonder, how did you get to where you are, going through things that people may have experienced similar to you, but have taken a different route and not even be close to where you're at.
I think it's easy to get stuck on the negatives of doing stuff and always being, I guess, like living in fear stops you from trying most things, and that's kind of the biggest, I guess, thing I could point to there. Like I'm just willing to do shit and then move. I'll move to a fucking different state and go live there, find a job there. You know, I'm like just like you, Dan. You did the same fucking thing. Like you left your hometown. Like people don't want to do that. They love saying they love what's comfortable. And people love to be comfortable. That's part of the thing. They don't want to try new things. That's the biggest problem, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for us, like I think it helped us, when we were 18, we moved to a different, when we went to college, we left the home, like, you know what I'm saying?
Left,
Like we didn't go to a
literally
local
left home
college.
completely. Yeah.
Yeah, like we didn't stay home after high school. We went somewhere else, experienced living on your own there, and then it's weird to go back home, you know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't feel right.
It did not.
It's like
I can't lie to you. Yeah.
I got used to this lifestyle, and I'm gonna go back to what I did when I was all the way up to 18, you know what I'm saying? Like I think just being able to put yourself out there helps, or like being willing to try new things, and then you kind of stop thinking about all the negatives or shit that you could talk yourself out of doing stuff. You know what I mean?
No, I agree.
Does that make sense?
No, I agree. You know what I mean? Because I feel like and that's where I would say I even like hold myself accountable for it too. The concept of overthinking and thinking to yourself about like, yo,
Yes.
but what if the what ifs over and over and over
Yeah.
again. And while I
What
might
if I
get
can't? What if this doesn't work, or what if this fails, or what if I can't do that? So what if you can do that? You know what I'm saying? Like
exactly,
that's kind of how I'm looking at it. Like why can't I do this? You know?
mm-hmm.
Why can't I find them? And then part of it too is like I feel like it's okay to like struggle with stuff. I'm okay with that stuff. Like shit's not always gonna be easy no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to be willing to, I guess, go through those difficult times on your own, and that's kind of a big part of it. You know what I mean? Like you can relate to that, right? Because you had to go from
Yep.
oh shit, I fucked up.
It's all good. I'm gonna bleep that out. Don't stress.
Okay, I'll restart that. But you were willing to move like to a different state, basically. You'd never been there before, but you did it, and that's kind of like you weren't afraid to take that risk. Some people could look at that kind of opportunity and be like, "Why would I do that? I have no connection there. I don't know anybody there. Why not?" You know what I'm saying? Like that's, I guess, just being willing to try new things is a big part of where we're at.
And I will say that's the one thing, right? Like in my experience with that, when I first moved here, I felt lonely as hell. You know what I mean? I had one
And
guy,
that's
and
normal feeling.
you know what I'm saying, and I
And
felt,
that's okay.
and I had one guy that I was like, bro, that is my guy, and I work with him. Like that is my dude. I love that freaking dude to death, bro. And it's like one of those things for me where, recently now, like I have been kind of actively looking to expand into kind of something. Like I know there was I did find a church nearby that they're doing like a young adults meet or whatever the case is, and then I'm just go out there and just try to make friends, try to see new people, whatever the case is. Like I might not be here for long. I actually might be moving again at some point, but like long story short, it's like that concept of like I lost that part of myself moving because I thought to myself just like, holy shit, like this ain't like my area. This ain't nothing like the people that I'm used to hanging out with. This is nothing like all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna get freaking like backhanded by it or whatever the case was. Like you kind of lose a little bit of yourself. That's kind of why I wanted to ask the question because we may experience that at moments within ourselves. Like I know I always present myself as like, oh yeah, like I'm always big chilling, which I am. Like I'm always calm and collected and know what I gotta do. But there's those moments that it's like you'll get in your head. You think to yourself twice, like, like, am I doing that right? Is that the right method? Should I be doing that? And like you get kind of lost in that kind of train of thought. But that's where, Joey, to your point beforehand, like, why can't you take the jumps? Because I can't lie to you. When I got first asked to move, in my mind, I was like, oh shit. Like, and it's a big thing. It's a big reaction. And like for you moving initially, did you have that same kind of thought to yourself, or were you just like, hell yeah? I can imagine not because the state you're from, you've preached to me numerous times about how fantastic that state is. So for
Yeah.
you to come to my state was a treat. Like, so
Yeah. I mean, I lived in your. I went to college in your state, so I feel like I got accustomed to it then. So
mhm.
then it was just weird. I feel like taking a step back, kind of. You know,
That's a
that's what it felt
crazy
like.
statement to say about my state, but sure.
No, no, I'm saying like when say school ended, it felt like when I moved back when I went back to my home state, I felt like I took like it's like taking a step backwards, kind of. But it shouldn't. I know
Mm,
it shouldn't feel that way. But that's what it kind of felt like. I feel like you left that, or I left that back there for 4.5 years because I missed a semester. You know,
for
I guess I
sure.
was back there, but going back there and that being like the full time reality, like this just feels odd.
Hmm.
That's where I was at. Like, why not? That's why I was willing to be like, why not try something, you know, different, you know? And I think a lot of it is like, I think the thing here is being comfortable, being uncomfortable kind of thing, you
For
know?
sure.
I feel like, like you talk about like the struggle of shit, like it's just normal. I feel like everyone has it. They don't talk about it, but you know, it's not like a crazy thing. I feel like, you know, but you can easily like talk your shit self out of stuff, anything really, if you think about it
Real
too
fast.
hard and long. That's why I just push that thoughts off. I'm like, I'm gonna just do this, and this is what's gonna happen. We're gonna get to the next day, and then the next day, and it just keeps going.
Especially when I feel like you're in a situation where you don't really have anybody to kind of relate to. If you want, if I like, if the, in that concept, when you feel like you're on that island of like, damn, I'm the only one that's like gone through this. It's like you and I relate on that. Like we left our states. You know what I mean? That's why it's like talking about this. I like feel more like relatable to you in that kind of conversation. You know what I mean? Like, and it's like going to and again, this is like no dig. Love Scotty to death, but it's like when you like talking to him about it, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you know," it's like not like that. It's like, "Oh my boy, like you know what I mean? Like you're still in that state. Like you still like to me, it's like nothing. The surrounding didn't change, and when the surrounding changes, you sit there like this is new. Like I have to adapt and evolve and grow and do this, undo all that, and
So it's
while
part of
that's part of life.
your personal growth. Your personal growth continues
Mm-hmm.
by continuing the challenges instead of reverting to what's comfortable and doing the same thing over and over again,
But what I
and
will
not really
say,
getting anything.
no, keep going. My fault. My fault. I cut you off.
I was just saying, like like reverting to the same thing that you already know is comfortable, and then you get to be uncomfortable again in the same way of like going to a different state for school, whatever. It just continues, and you build off that. You make new connections, and then when you look at it, you have all this web of connections from you know everywhere you've been. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you kind of get what I'm saying there.
I do.
And you talked about like how you talked about when you moved, like you had that work person you relied on. When I moved here, I worked, you know, in a vehicle because I traveled everywhere by myself. I didn't have like an office. I didn't have like a work environment of people I got to talk to. So I
Mm-hmm.
was isolated like 24/7. It felt like besides from being home
Mm-hmm.
or being, you know, where I live. So I think part of that was why I was looking to get out of that job and then find a new, like try something new. That's also I didn't know much about like this I'm just calling it construction. You get what I'm saying with
Mm-hmm.
that, right? That's basically what I do now. It's like I'm learning electrical shit. I'm doing plumbing, and then it's like carpenter shit, framing walls and floors and all that kind of thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Obviously, it's nothing you don't need a degree for, but then it's like trade stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Useful. You don't
And
gotta pay nobody to do that for your house.
I've never done that stuff, so I wanted to learn how to do this stuff, and that's kind of where I'm at now. And I do enjoy it. And then I got the community of the people I work with. They're all great guys, and I enjoy. It makes work enjoyable in a sense that way.
Mm-hmm.
It helps that it's paying the same I was getting previously too, though. So that was
Yes.
another plus. Yeah,
Okay.
I guess there was no. It was I guess it was a lateral move, but I enjoy because I actually get to interact with people on a day to day basis. You know, which is what you talked about when when you moved to where you moved.
For sure. And again, this is where
I
it's
guess
kind of
I guess the social interactions are like a needed thing. I feel like.
it is. It is. And I think that's where
Yeah.
for me, like being again, like always traveling, it's been hard for again me to like find a circle or a group or people to interact with really. And it's crazy because of how friendly I am, genuinely. Like,
Confide in.
what do you mean?
I guess like get to know, like be friendly with kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. No, like, and that's what kind of gets me because I feel like I'm friendly with the people at work, but then like once I go out of work, it's like I go here, I go to the gym, like that's it. Like it's like I don't
Let
have.
me ask you this: what's your gym environment like?
I mean, bro, it's a Planet Fitness. I don't know what you want me to.
What are you going in there and you're like talking to people, or are you just getting there in and out
Oh,
doing
when I'm in
something?
there, bro, I'm straight face pumping, and then I'm out.
So why are you not talking to anybody there? I have the same kind of thing where I don't talk to nobody at the gym. It's like I see kind of, I guess I see like kind of people. I don't take the step to be like, hey, who are you? Like, I don't do that.
I mean, for
What's
me,
up with that?
right? I I would love to talk to people at the gym, and I guess to me because of the atmosphere, right? And this is not me even trying to dog Planet Fitness. This is genuinely how it be. It's like you and I have lifted for years, so it's like the concept of like experience, proper form, all that stuff in between. Like I take it serious. I can imagine you do too. But then when I'm like doing the cable rows and I'm getting into it, and then I shift over and I see some dude. I'm not even lying, Joey. Like he stands up off the bench and just jumps into the air and leans back. Boom! Jumps in the air. Boom! Jumps in. Yo, like repeated. And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not talking to that. Like I'm not. I can't talk to him. And I know that's one out of however many people, but I'm saying,
No, the question. So what's stopping you from being like, hey, this is how you should try doing this. This could help you out. What's stopping you from helping this person out?
because it almost looked like he already knew what he was trying to do.
You don't think he needs any tips, so you're just gonna leave him be, let him do the same thing that's wrong over and over again. Is that a feel? Is that a fear of like being rejected with what you want to say?
It's not even about a fear of being rejected, what I want to say. It's almost like,
This kind of relates to like the girl thing, right? In the sense of like, would you go up to like a woman at the gym or something like that, or like you get what I'm saying? Like,
I mean,
you
for
get the track
me,
that I'm on?
yeah, I get what you're saying. Would I go to somebody like at the gym and like
Yeah,
in the possibility that they try to like shoo you off because they're like, bro, I'm not trying to talk to you or whatever the
yeah.
case is. And in the case of like, that it's not me of having a fear of being shooed off. It's more for me of like I'm gonna spend my time explaining something to you and you either like don't take the advice or it's like you kind of just it goes in the ear and then goes out the other kind of thing. And then for me, it's not me being annoyed about rejection, it's about me being annoyed because I'm wasting my gym time and it's already limited in what I do.
I get that.
So it's like if I spend my time and then you listen to me, I'm like, you know what? That was a good gym time. I helped somebody. I feel fantastic. No problem. But if I go in there and I'm like, yo, homie, like you should not like be doing that. Like, yo, sit on the bench, arch your back, lean back a little bit, boom, control the entire time. And he's like, okay, cool. And then does it again, I'm gonna want to kick him in the face. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what I'm that's just what I'm feeling. Like
Back to the gym though. How would you say like the gym is for you now compared to like say a few years ago? Has it changed?
when we were at like back then when we were at Crunch.
Not even like I guess you could say you could use that as an example, but like are you doing like the same kind of thing or have you like changed like what you're doing at the gym? Like I
Um
used to deadlift a lot. I
yeah.
used to deadlift a lot. I haven't deadlifted in years
Yeah,
now.
I
And
stopped. Yeah, I deadlifted. I deadlifted with Ram before, and after I did 425, and I felt my lower back like tweak a little bit. I was like, yeah, I shouldn't be doing this no more, bro. And it's like, I mean, I'll do squats and everything. I'll do squats and benching, no problem. But I think to myself like
you follow a split.
the split.
I don't personally. Yeah, like do you have like a set thing for each week? Like is it every week is like is your days planned out or is it like however you're feeling that
No,
day
to
you're
me,
gonna
it's
do
like
that?
I know what position bodies like. I like today I did core. Tomorrow I'm gonna do chest and try. Wednesday I'm gonna hit legs.
Legs.
Yep. Thursday, I'm probably gonna go and do cardio, and then Friday shoulder back and by, and then Saturday core again, and then Sunday rest.
Yeah.
and that's how I'm gonna do it.
I get it.
But then I know what workouts I'm gonna do for those specific days. But I'll do it like when I get there. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. I need to work out my hamstring. I need to work out my calves, this, that, and the third. And I know what workouts I need to do to get myself feeling good again. But it's like there's no clear cut regimen. Like, oh yeah, Thursday I gotta go and do Bulgarian split squats. Like, no, that's not a thing for me. Like,
Yeah. Yeah,
yo, we used to be in it like that, and that's I'll say that too. For example, when we were at Crunch, right? Like we were friendly to everybody. Like, we were cool with everybody. Like it was chilling. We got our work there and we talked. But
is that because you were with somebody else though? You had a training partner. So when you have a training
you were
partner,
my training partner, bro. Like
that's what I'm asking you though. So what I'm saying is like when you're with somebody else, you're willing to talk to anybody, but when you're by yourself, you don't even bother.
I mean, that's
You know
not
what I
even the
mean?
case because like when you were like if there were days that you didn't come with me, I was still talking to people. I
I
think.
don't. I'm saying this. I do this. I'm just. That's how I am. If I'm with someone
Ah,
else, yeah, I'll be friendly with anybody. But when it's like just me, like I'm just gonna be in and out here. I'm not even gonna, look at you or try to talk to somebody. Even though they're doing probably the same thing I'm doing. You know what I mean?
for sure.
I'm trying to get to the bottom of why that is.
No, no, that's a fact. Like the kind, like why I guess it kind of brings that fear, like right to me, right? Like it is me, right? Like not just because like I have a girlfriend, but also for me, I just don't like the notion. Like I don't ever go up to girls to talk to them at the gym. Just point blank, period.
not even,
Because
not even girls, they're guys.
no, I'm saying guys too. I'm saying girls are already just out the question. Guys, for me, it's like how do I say? If I'm coming up to you, there's just how do I say this feeling, like that feeling of like I would love to join. Like if I'm seeing like if I'm about to go do the same workout with somebody, right? I'm about to go do a bench or something, and I see he's about to get on the bench. Like I would love to go to someone and be like, "Yo, let me bench with you." But if I have this feeling like we live completely different weights, right? I'm gonna feel like I'm a burden to you because while I might put 275 on and you're only gonna put 135 on, we're just gonna be re-racking and racking weights the entire time. There's no really like I love to live for the competition of it too, also. Like that concept of like we're pushing each other kind of thing. And it's
Yeah,
like I like
that's
I guess to me like I don't feel like I'm pushing somebody when they're benching like 100 pounds less than me. I'm just like, yo, bro, yeah, you got it, yeah, you got it, you got it. And I'm in my mind just like, dude, like, come on now, like let's get this shit up. Like, what are we doing? Like, and yo, and it's not, it's maybe me just not having that cognitive understanding of like, yo, we're on different levels. We don't do the
yeah, because
same
you'll do
weight.
that. You'll live with somebody else that can't do that, but you know them, so it's fine. But because you don't know this person, you can't do that. Like I'll live with someone that's like obviously like 100 pounds lighter than I am, and they're obviously on a different, they can't do the same shit obviously, but we're still gonna work out. We're gonna take these plates off every time because it's like a friendly thing. But you can't create that friendly thing with like a random person at the gym.
Yeah, because to me, because be honest, right? Re-racking and racking, that's just like a burden, bro. That shit's a freaking annoying, bro. That
Yeah,
shit
it
do be
is when we
annoying.
have a
And
conversation.
to me, to do
It's the
that
fact,
to somebody that I just met, I feel like that's a little disrespectful.
I guess, if you look at it that way, but I don't know. Just an interesting thing to talk
It is an
about.
interesting thing, but I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll try it, and then we come back here for a different episode, and I'll tell you about that experience.
I talked to like there was a guy the other day that had a Cowboys hat on. I was like, that's a nice. I didn't. I saw him. I was like literally, like this is like the incline bench, and this is like where he was at, like dumbbell like shit. What is that bench called? The normal one.
A
I was like,
straight
that's. I
bench?
saw the guy. Not, it's not even a bench. It's like the where you take the dumbbells and it's like it moves up and down. What's that shit called?
You take the dumbbells and it moves up and down.
No, I'm saying like it's like the dumbbell racks, and then you have like the thing you sit on where you can adjust it wherever you want it to be. What was that called? It's like the
Yeah, the adjustable bench for like yeah, like incline press and the freaking shoulder press and shit like
all
that.
that rig. Yeah, it's like not like a bench thing, but it's like it's like a free weight thing.
Yeah.
The free weight thing. Yeah, the Cowboys sound like he might like didn't mention a word to him. And I'm like, how did I not why can't I talk to this guy? Why can't I just tell him like nice hat? You know what I'm saying? Because he's like he has the AirPod headphones in. It's like, you don't want to bother someone, I guess, with that sense. You know.
Joe, I think we gotta
They
start
have
talking to people
headphones
at the
in.
gym just to try it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, we should just
I
start.
think we should just start
We
chatting
should,
people at the gym just cause.
this should be our challenge.
Yo, for real. Yo, we gotta lead by example, you know what I'm saying? To show like, yo, the generation we can talk and communicate and chill.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, right? When I'm in the gym, I look like a freaking a-hole, bro. Like I see my face. And I wouldn't approach me. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I look so pissed off. You've worked out with me. How pissed off do I look? Like 90% of the time when I'm about to go lift something. And then afterwards, you and I are talking, I'm smiling, I'm chilling, I'm joking. It's just like, it's crazy to me. But
Yeah, to build the community is what we gotta do.
that's what we gotta do. We gotta build a community. I'll build a community at Planet, joke with everybody and everything. And it's funny because I feel like the managers at the Planet Fitness that I go to, it's like they like try to talk to me because there was a time where he was like, "Oh, hey man," and I looked at him with like the most serious. I just got done benching, and he was like, "Oh," and he just walked away. And I'm in my mind just like, "Damn, like that could have been my chance right there." But it's like my immediate response off-putted him to just be like, "I can't do this. I gotta go," and he left.
Yeah,
And
it is a weird. Why is it a weird environment? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
the gym,
Like, why is it? Yeah.
and maybe it's weird for us
I
because
guess everyone's there for themselves. That's the thing. That's part of it, right? Everyone that goes to the gym, they're there for themselves. That's why they're not there for like the social interaction of the gym, I guess, right?
yeah, but I guess
That's gotta be a
like
part of it.
I get that, but to your point, like what is wrong with a simple like, yo, what's up, man? And you like fist pump
Yeah.
and
Piss with everybody. I'll go into the sauna and I won't talk to nobody. I'll just have my hair. I'll keep my.
now that's
headphones on.
crazy. I talk to people in the sauna at least. In the sauna, I'll talk to people. Straight
A
drenched
rare
sweat,
occasion,
balls dripping. I'll talk to somebody.
A rare occasion, I'll be like, "Hey, what's going on?" But it's gotta be like a one-on-one thing.
Actually, funny story.
Maybe I'm the problem here.
He said, maybe I just don't like talking when I'm sweating. Because at the sauna, bro, when we were working out, you and I would be chatting in that sauna nonstop. And whoever walked in there, we would be chatting with
Enjoy
them.
it. Yeah, that's why I just said to you. That's why we talked about it earlier. Like when you go with somebody else, you talk to anybody. When you go by yourself, you don't bother. It's the same. It's the same idea there.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
attacking something in a group rather than by yourself. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Way better, way easier.
Way
I
easier.
guess that's an obvious thing. Yeah,
That's what.
not everybody has. Not everybody has like that person they can go to the gym with though.
True. That is true.
Yeah, with like me and you right now.
Exactly. But like funny story about the song that you're mentioning. So I went to Fusion. Shout out Fusion, all that stuff. Fusion gyms.
No free shout outs.
No free shout outs, actually. Cancel that. But I went out there and there was actually a dude in a King's Wrestling t-shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I gotta. And mind you, yo, I'm sitting there, headphones, head down, and I'm just in my mind like, bro, why don't I talk to him? Why don't I talk to him? And it just hit me, and I was like, so you go to King's? Like a dumbass. Like, homie, no shit, you go to King's. Like, dude, you have a t-shirt on. Like, you don't just do that shit for no reason, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It just dawned on me, right?
You see an Eagles hoodie? Like, yo, you're an Eagles fan?
Yeah, like, yeah. Exactly, bro, exactly. That's how I mean. Like, it's just so. I was like, "Oh, you go to Kings?" He was like, "Yeah." And what's it called? He was like, "Oh, like, he's like, dude, like, I don't know what it is about, like, I was like, about Kings, but I feel like I see you guys like around this area more and more." And he was like, "Oh yeah, we go to," which was like my rival school back in high school and everything like that. One of my rival schools and everything. And he was like, "Oh yeah, do you remember Kenny? Do you remember this? You remember him? You remember him?" I'm like, "Oh yeah." And we were chatting it up there for like 15 minutes. And then it like caused somebody else to come in who this dude just talked about how he went to a bathing house like 30 minutes from the gym. And then another dude who came in talking about he was about shawarma and he was about mushroom coffee and all this stuff in between. And it's like, that chain of effect of me talking to one guy had me talking to like 4 or 5 guys within like a 15-minute time span. And it made me think to myself, like, I wouldn't have been in the sauna that long if I wasn't talking to those guys. Like, I would have probably left 5 minutes later, like 5 minutes, 10 minutes earlier. But I spent another
Yeah.
5 to 10 minutes because I'm like, I'm enjoying this conversation with them. I'm getting more of a sweat. My body's cleaning myself out more, and look like, and I got a good conversation out of it.
That happens a lot more for me at my home gym. It's like you see people in there and you're just willing to talk to them. Where it's like, I guess being in this area, it's like I don't care. I don't know if that's the right word to say. It's like I don't even want to try and engage. But then we would talk to somebody. Next thing you know, like 40 minutes go by, and you're like, holy fuck! Like it's been 40 minutes that you don't even realize.
No, for real. And that's where it's
Yeah.
interesting because to your point about talking and whatever, like, at some point, Joey, I'm gonna be moving down to the south. And when I tell you that the atmosphere, how they be at, it's just so different. You're talking about how like we don't be talking, they always be talking down there, bro. Like I'm talking about like always trying to know about how's your day, how's your life going, and it's like
How?
howdy, that's crazy work. It's like all this shit in between, and I'm just like, bro, like, and it's like, and that's me because I'm up here, bro. Like when I went down there to work, and they were just like, bro, I went down there to work a couple times, right? And this is exactly how it went. They were like, oh, get there at 7, chilling. All right, bet, let's get work done at 8. We're getting stuff done. We're like, yo, we need electrical guys. Let's get this going. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get their guys are gonna go. They'll probably be here in about an hour, but they might not have stuff because the street down the store down the street, they're gonna be opening at 11, so they're gonna go pick up that stuff. And by the time they come back, they gotta go to lunch at 12. But 12 lunch means it's like 11:45, 11:30, and then they get out of lunch at 12:30, which is around 12:45 actually, and then they're gonna come back and then they work from that 12:45 till maybe like 1:30, because then their 2 o'clock break starts at 2, but it starts actually at 1:50 for them, and then they get off at like 2:15, but it's actually like 2:30, 2:35 they get off, and then they work for another hour, and they can't be late for their checkout at 4 o'clock, so they're really only gonna be working for like an hour and some change. So I don't know what you guys are gonna do. That lit me the fuck up, bro.
I can imagine. Have someone explain their whole day to you. How they're not really doing anything.
I'm just like, what? And I'm just sitting there like, what are we talking about, bro?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
So to me, right, it's just like, and maybe because the North has been like, I feel like up here, we're really like, I'm just trying to get my job done and go home. Like, I'm just trying to get my job done, get this shit done. I'm trying to, I'll go above and beyond, but I'm focused. Like, I'm zoned in this ish. Like, I'm locked in.
Yeah.
But it's like, not like that everywhere else. And then when we go there, it looks like we a-holes because we're like, why are we not getting this shit done?
Yeah. Because you're going off someone else's time.
You know what I'm saying?
Your time is thrown out the window.
So that's where, to me, it's like, we're going to be back here again, Joey, when I go down there. And who knows, bro? I might have a different accent. I don't know. I'm definitely not losing my hometown accent, but like, hey, it'd be like that.
Are you gonna say where you're gonna go?
Am I just gonna say where I'm gonna go? No, I'm not gonna say where I'm gonna go. I'll say when I'll say where I'm gonna be at when I get there.
I was gonna make a sports reference. You're gonna change your sport team. Root for the home state.
Hell freaking no, bro. The shawty got a box that I can still watch my birds all day, every day. I'm about to put a bird's flag outside the crib.
Get your house burned down.
Literally. I'm telling you. No, for real though.
Then you call it a hate crime.
I'm gonna pull a freaking hate crime. I'm telling you, it's gonna be horrendous. It's gonna be horrendous. Oh man, but Joey, we had about an hour and 9 minutes. I think this is a pretty good episode. I think it was
Good,
pretty
good
solid.
starter.
You know what I mean? A good starter.
What do you call good pilot episode?
Yes, the pilot for sure, for sure. I think it was a good one. You know what I mean? I think this is a good spot to end right here. We had a good couple laughs. But hey, we're gonna have more stories. We're gonna have more ish. Go talk to some people in the gym, and I'm gonna let you know some stories about when I go and do it. And we're gonna come back here. We're gonna come back here for a part two, just to make sure. But my
For sure.
dudes, appreciate you for showing up. Appreciate you guys for showing out. Show your mommy, show your daddy. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, guys. We're gonna get this thing rolling. I love this type of ish, and we are gonna make it. Yo, we're gonna make it happen. We're gonna make it happen every Saturday. Show up, be out here. New stories, funny moments, good times, good vibes. I'm gonna catch you on the next one.